Let me make myself perfectly clear. Internet censorship, internet bias against conservatives, against Christian conservatives is very real. I'm not paranoid about this. I trust God that he can help us get our message out however we can get it out. But remember Paul in the book of Acts, when he was going to be mistreated as a Roman citizen, he would remind the people, I'm a Roman citizen, you're a Roman citizen. Oh, we can't do what we're planning to do to you or what we just did to you. We could be in big trouble. When there was a right that he had to stand on, he would do it. Now, of course, he was persecuted and suffered terribly and was ultimately, according to tradition, beheaded for his faith. But when there was a stand he could take and draw attention to it, he would do it in the same way now, since the government is here to do right, according to Romans 13, to punish evil and to support and protect right and good. And we have laws in our nation for that. Well, we want to hold people accountable. And to the extent that you have service providers saying we are providing equal service for everyone, to the extent that you have rules and guidelines given to you by YouTube, by Google, by Twitter, by Facebook, we want to challenge them to uphold those equally and fairly for all. And just to explain this to you, so it makes sense. It's one thing if a company says we are left-wing company, we are right-wing company, we are liberal, we are conservative, we are Muslim, we are Christian, we are Jewish, we are atheist. And what we're putting out on our site is in conformity with that, and we don't want any disagreement with it. That's 100% their prerogative to do it. But if you're going to draw people in, if you're going to say, hey, Facebook, we're just a community and we're neutral, or YouTube, we're just a community and we're neutral, and now you work with them for months, for years, you pour into what they're doing, you develop a platform there, maybe even you pay them money to develop what you're doing, and then they change the rules or don't enforce the rules rightly or equally, now you have a problem, and that's something we should address. So, my friend Peter LaBarbera, Americans for Truth Against Homosexuality, this is what happens to him. Here's his headline: ISP First Light Fiber. This was this is the host server for his website. ISP First Light Fiber shuts down entire Americans for Truth About Homosexuality website, kowtows to convicted homosexual sex offender and web bully Adam Flanders. So here's some guy that threatens them and says, take down this mugshot you have of me when I was convicted. This is Adam Flanders saying when he was convicted years ago as a sex offender, take down that mugshot. Well, no, that's public domain. It can be used. And now the website, because they're being told this conservative site is doing this and they're doing evil and wrong, it gets taken down. The guy threatens, it gets taken down. You say, well, that could go anyway. That doesn't prove anything, because anybody could threaten, anyone could threaten a lawsuit, and sometimes people just immediately react. Oh, okay, let's go a step further. Here is a report from Fox News. This is all over the internet. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey admits conservative staffers don't feel safe to express their opinions at liberal tech giant. Let me read that again. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey admits conservative staffers don't feel safe to express their opinions at liberal tech giant. Last week, Breitbart.com releases a very damning video, 1 hour long. Leaders of Google, I mean, the power that these internet giants have is massive. When we do so much communication through the internet, when we get our message out through the internet, when they can shut your message down, when they can promote your message down, those of us who work regularly to get a message out on the internet, those of you who are in business using the internet, you recognize how powerful these companies could be. And all along, we just assume they're just using computer algorithms and there's no bias, or at least we were hoping it's just generating. You're looking for the most commonly searched website on this. You're looking to buy a product. Okay, which one seems to have the most hits and interest? Okay, here's a paid ad. That's separate. Here's the list. You think it's just all coming out fairly. Now we're finding out, no, that's not the case. Allegedly, that is not the case. And Google executives talking very upset when President Trump won. And, you know, what can we do about this? So I've got a colleague, kind of a theological, cultural twin of mine. We only met for the first time a couple of years ago, Bill Muehlenberg. A great website, billmuehlenberg.com, Muehlenberg, an American living in Australia for many, many years. And for many, many years, he's been writing about the key cultural, moral issues and the soft gospel issues in Australia and around the world. So he posts this September 12th, so last week, Facebook jail yet again. Let me read what he wrote. Sometimes it can take me a little while to figure out what I should write about on Culture Watch. I do try to have at least one new article written and posted every day. Usually there's plenty of new news that can be turned into an article or stuff gleaned from my morning devotionals or general culture war material, etc. However, once in a while I may have to think a few hours as to what might be worth running with, but not today. As soon as I tried to open my Facebook page this morning, I knew instantly what to write about. You see, here I am, languishing in Facebook jail once again. Yep, sitting in jail, twiddling my thumbs, wondering what to do for an entire 30 days. Sure, I have done my time in the past with shorter stints in the sin bin, a day, 2 or 3 various transgressions have meant that the Facebook censors had to act, it seems, but an entire month? Really? Wow. What did Bill do that was so despicable? Threaten to assassinate a top political leader? Post pictures with raw, degrading pornographic content? Try to defend the most wicked forms of child abuse? Try to tell deliberate and flagrant lies with impunity? No. Evidently, it was far, far worse than that. But the really bizarre thing is, it seems not to have been a post by me at all. Although it seems to have been someone else's, I don't even know what they posted. I only briefly saw a quick image of it, and it was not anything I did. So I'm completely kept in the dark by the Facebook overlords and have been given the boot with zero recourse or action of write or reply. He says, let me make this clear. Here is the bottom line in this case. Someone else can post something Facebook does not like and do it on a page that is not your own, yet you can still get slammed by Facebook anyway, even for a whole month. That makes as much sense as sharing a flat with a guy who robs a bank and gets caught because you happen to share a combination with him. You too will be jailed. Friends, this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with on a regular basis on my YouTube channel. I could, if we were sitting together, I'd show you on my computer. We go on my YouTube channel and you'd see video after video saying review requested, review requested, review requested, review requested, review requested for the most generic, non-controversial videos imaginable. But either my site, my Ask Dr. Brown YouTube page has been flagged and marked in general, so instantly it gets attention, or people just immediately, it's just what they do. I don't know how many it takes, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, I don't know. But immediately what they do, they have a little circle of people and they immediately complain about the video. You get a bunch of complaints. All right, mark this. And now mark it as unsuitable for advertisers. And by the way, we don't make money on YouTube. We do not make money on YouTube. Even though we've had over 10 million views of our videos, we don't make money on YouTube. We use YouTube to reach you. And if anything, we have paid money to YouTube to try to get a message out through advertising a key video. And if there's been any profit of a few $100s here and there, it just gets poured back into ministry. We're a nonprofit, so we don't make a dime of profit on YouTube. If any money comes in, it goes right back into producing further videos to put out on YouTube and serving you to make things available for free. But the videos get flagged virtually every single day, sometimes literally within seconds of going live. I'm not kidding you. I'll get a notice from my team, hey, Dr. Brown, you can post this now on Twitter. It's now live. And seconds later, I look and boom, it's already been marked. So either YouTube is flagging it or somebody else is complaining. And I'm not complaining about this. I'm just speaking the truth and bringing it into the light. And we've confronted them as best as we can and had the worst customer service, the most friendly and the absolutely worst customer service I think I've ever experienced, or some of the very worst, shockingly poor, but very friendly. So who are we dealing with? Are the rules fair? Are the judges fair? Is it a biased 20-year-old sitting in Silicon Valley that's not going to make the evaluation? And the strangest thing is, videos that I think are fine, they'll mark and say unsuitable after review, unsuitable. And then another one, I think this is controversial. They're gonna shut this one down. They're not going to let this be monetized. They'll say it's fine. There is zero consistency. So when you want to play by the rules, you can't even do that. This stuff is real, friends. It's not imagined. It's not imagined. It is real. But some good news with the pushback in the midst of it. And this is from LifeSite News. LifeSite News reports this from Friday, September 14th. Judge awards pro-marriage pastor $10,000 in online harassment case. So this is Christian pastor Richard Penkoski. He was on my show a few weeks back, pastor of the Warriors for Christ online ministry, is offering to help other Christians fight back and use the courts against online defamation and threats of violence. So he was the victim of online harassment and false accusations. When he went to court over it, the court sided with him, and he received $10,000 because he was wrongly accused. So let us continue to speak the truth and get the truth out. Let us continue to speak the truth in love without compromise. And let us push back against injustice. Let us push back against corruption. Let us push back against discrimination. And this way there can be more liberty and freedom for everyone.